Hi guys, it's so nice to meet you. My fiance and I love the movie. First of all, like I knew the pharmaceutical industry was gross, but God, it's so much worse than I thought.
Thank you for those
Hi,
kind
Chris.
words, Chris. Congratulations on getting engaged.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're getting married on New Year's Eve. It's gonna be like 25%. It's gonna be like 25% wedding, 75% New Year's Eve party. It's gonna be a great time. Anyway,
Great.
let's talk about the movie. Given the film's balance between like real life situations and fictional elements, I was curious, like, how did you both decide which moments to heighten for cinematic impact and which to keep, more grounded in reality?
It was a process of script development, really. So through the entire drafting of each version of the script, we would occasionally go too far with some moments, and even in the editing process as well. There was a version of the film, I'm pretty sure I shared it with Lawrence, where the humor was quite broad, and we sort of, Mark and I who were editing, added a few too many broad takes from, say, Andy Garcia or Chris. And what we would do is when we'd sit and watch the movie, it tilted the movie too far into a comedy. And the editing and the script process, it was always about calibration and balance. Calibration and balance. And it was tricky to get right. There is a version of this movie that is broader and funnier, but which, by the end, you can't take the emotion or the serious message we're trying to convey seriously at all. You just go, what? I've just watched an entertaining film and now you want me to care
Right.
about the subject? So we calibrated it very carefully in the best way we could, but it was a tightrope walk. It was a tightrope walk all the way, I would suggest. And an example is the character Dr. Lydell, who is in many ways a monster. He's a man who's writing these prescriptions, getting people addicted. These people are addicted, then they go to the street, then they die. But Brian Darcy James, in that, finding that human being, he creates this sort of poignant loser who's a bit lonely and quite fragile and just wants a friend or a lover. And you kind of weirdly, even though he's a monster, you kind of feel for this guy. So it was in the characterization that Lawrence and Wells and with us kind of start to craft the actors that we cast, and then just in the balance of the script development and the editing process that we sort of calibrated everything carefully.
And to add something onto that, just to say the calibration David's speaking about is really about nailing a tone, David's filmmaking tone that he was aiming for. But when you say the word heightened, the subjects that this movie is based on, this is not exaggerated. It was really calibrating the tone that David wanted for the film, but we did not have to fictionalize and heighten a good deal of the excess and humor in the movie. The world itself is pretty incredible in its own right.
No, I thought you guys did such a good job with the tone. I mean, it wasn't overly preachy or didactic or anything like that. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it a lot. Before I go, I do want to ask, being a fan of all things Hogwarts, David, are you planning on any involvement with the Harry Potter TV series?
Do you know what? Honestly, Chris, I could not, in any conceivable way, get involved. It's simply, I spent a long time at that school and in those corridors and in those classrooms, and it was an exquisite experience and one I will always treasure. But to go back and do another year or two for me would be, I feel I've lived it. Being in the back of a van with Lawrence in Atlanta or Savannah, hoofing it to try and make a drama, to me at the moment is more compelling than going through the hallowed gates of Hogwarts. It's, but I wish that show so well. It's going to be amazing to see them re-explore all it can be for the next generation. And I think it'll be it'll be a challenge for everyone involved. But it's a very exciting enterprise, and I wish it well. It was an amazing experience for me, and I know the other filmmakers who were involved, and it will be for the next generation of filmmakers.
Well, it was such a pleasure to get to talk to both of you ever so quickly. Half-Blood Prince is my favorite Harry Potter film.
Oh, good.
I love it so much. So, guys, thank you so much. This was such a treat for me, and I enjoyed this movie. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your day.